If you would like to know more on how long this project has really came, you can check out my previous video I made about it. Today we're going to be covering V7, changes that I'm seeing, problems I'm having with the game, and providing great feedback for these developers. First, we're going to start off with the main menu, and I'm not going to say it's perfect, but it's really good in the spot it's at right now for it just being pre-alpha. Now, comparing it to the previous version of the main menu, it's just so much more intuitive, so much more straightforward, and that's a welcome change for me and probably many of you. Getting into the difficulty of this, it's definitely marginally better than V6. I gotta say, V6 did bring way more difficulty to this game. It's not too much different from V6. So if you're just trying V7 for the first time, you'll have a better time actually playing the game. You're actually going to be more engaged with it the whole time compared to something like V5. Something I noticed when I first loaded up V7, perks do not spawn immediately, like how they did in V5 and I think at least V6 as well. Perks are put on this weird rotation thing where it also involves luck. You're most likely to get Speed Cola or Quick Revive first. Sometimes you could get Double Tap, but it's a bit more rare. Now for something like Juggernog or Stamina Up, they won't spawn in until way later into the rounds. Weapons, at least, I got a little bit unlucky with the Thunder Gun, so I wasn't able to test if it will actually turn into a Zeus Cannon. I'm going to take their word for it and say you get a Zeus Cannon. Someone could let me know in the comments if you ever got this, if you played recently. That would help out a lot. Fortunately, I was able to try the regular Ray Gun, the Ray Gun Mark II. I'm happy to report damage numbers are normal when you pack-a-punch them now, so that's a very welcome change. Other things were there was a lot of weapons added. Now, you have this World at War PPSH and the World War II PPSH, and I have to say the PPSH from World War II does do more damage than the World at War one. I got a question. Why is there two variants of the PPSH? I didn't manage to get the Storm Bow or any of the bows this time around. I was very unlucky with that. Moving on, we have the Apothicon Servant. Great weapon. It worked great last time I played with it in V6. Now, one last thing that was a huge problem I had with the previous versions, which was the Blundergat and its variants. If you pack-punch the Blundergat or any of its variants, it will seemingly turn into the best weapon in zombie warfare. I'm happy to report they have nerfed all the variants, and they're more down to earth. Now, we have the smaller issues that have been in the game for a while, but I don't really mind it too much as of right now, but I will name one mention of a weapon that does need to be looked at. We have the Uzi with ACOG, the Ripper, you can't use their sights yet, whatever. Now, the one that gets on my nerves the most is the M4A1 with a red dot and silencer. That weapon is seemingly worse than every pistol in zombie warfare, and I would like the team to take a look at its damage numbers because it's unreasonably bad. Other issues that pertain to this is hitboxes are too wide for the zombies, spawns are kind of wonky. Not only that, pathfinding with the AI still sucks, but there's not really too much I could comment when it's in pre-alpha. Now, the good takeaways from this and trying V7 is the main menu once again, just so much better. There is improvements that still can be made, but it doesn't need to happen anytime soon. Next up is the amount of weapons that were added, new maps, that's great. The other one that was huge for me, at least, is being able to take money from the machine, so that's great now. Not only that, the HUD for the game now, it used something that was similar to BO1 or BO2 zombies. Now it's using a BO3 style HUD. Next up, we have the COD TV feature, and what you're seeing right now is from COD TV, from one of the games I was playing. The one thing that is still sort of disappointing, there's still no controls to scrub forward or backwards on the timeline. The one thing that is a massive annoyance still is the fact that you cannot leave COD TV. There's no menu so you can leave, or at least a button so it kicks you out of the COD TV. You have to restart the whole app. So quickly back to the negatives, it's the downloading process for V7. You have to download their launcher, and which, by the way, it was an absolute nightmare. So you have to delete your files that you've already downloaded for whether it was V5, V6, delete all those. Install the launcher, let the launcher install the new files. It took me about 3-4 hours to download, just absolutely ridiculous amount of time. Not only this, it was the fact that trying to verify your game files, it would take forever. Not only that, trying to update the launcher, which I can still not get out of 1.19, and they're asking me to download 1.30 and it just simply doesn't work. Regardless of all the negatives that I've brought here in this video, it's a great game, great client. I see the vision that this is going to turn into something huge, whether it's a couple of years from now or whatever their whole timeline is looking like until they get into alpha or beta at least. Even with all the negatives I brought up in this video, I can say I can confidently recommend to you, download V7, try it for yourself. You'll definitely have way more fun if you compare it to V5 or V6. It's definitely way more playable. Still, you have to remember, it is not perfect. That's about it for Zombie Warfare for today. Make sure to check out my other videos talking about Call of Duty clients and mods. It's Waves here, and I'm out. And I'll see you in the next one.